Hey, Jeff, man, we was talking, and maybe we get you involved in this. And I'm sure the NBA players watch this as well. The NBA.com, they come out with these rankings for the players before the season. I think it's kind of to get you guys excited, to get you guys ready for the season, because we in strong disagreement with the top 10 and what goes past that. Have you had an opportunity to just glance at this?
No, I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, it gets kind of sloppy. It gets a little sloppy in some ways. So they're talking that top 10 about. So we're looking at the top power forwards in the league, and without looking at the list, just quick. But who would you say, based on you play against these guys every night, you look at the scouting reports, you see the numbers, who would you say is the best power forward in the league?
Best power forward? I mean, where are we at here? I mean, is Kevin Garnett still a power forward, or is he a center right now?
Well, right now he's a center.
Okay, so Dirk Nowitzki, then who are we talking about?
Kevin Love.
No, you shouldn't have said anything. You guys gave him a cheat sheet.
Right.
Well,
right.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
We're talking about Dirk Nowitzki. Then we're talking about Amari Stoudemire. Is he a power forward? Is he a center?
Yep. You put him as a power forward. I would consider him a power forward.
See, because right now you got a lot of hybrids. So these guys are playing 4, but they actually are 5 in the lineup, so it's tough. So if we're going by natural power forward, I'm looking at, Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Love. If I forget anybody.
How you like LaMarcus? LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge is solid, but Zach Randolph, I may edge him above LaMarcus Aldridge, but both very solid players. Definitely in the top 10, both of those guys.
What about Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin is in the top 10, yes.
Yeah, see, we were having this debate because the NBA.com ranked Kevin Love as the 7th best player in the league, putting him ahead of all the power forwards. But 7 overall in the league. We talk about all the NBA players. So we were just disagreeing, and we were having some strong arguments about that. It was like, I think that may be a little extra.
Yeah, I think he should be more like 12 or 13.
No, not even. If we're going off last season, okay then. But now we're looking at body of work.
We're just looking at last season. No. If it's body of work, you got to go, obviously, Garnett and Dirk Nowitzki and stuff like that, body of work, and Amari. But we're just talking about last season.
This last season, which is unfair, obviously, you know why. But if you're going off last season, you'd have to put him, statistically, you'd have to put him in the top 10. I mean, easy.
If you're going off last season, but I think it goes a little bit past that. We don't have the actual formula as to how they came. There's a score attached to this stuff.
And we assume that. Stats.
Yeah, we assume it involves stats. But when I look at it, you got Carmelo at number 17. You know, and honestly, I had time to
talk about top 10 player in this league, hands down, and he's definitely over Kevin Love in my book.
Oh, definitely. Carmelo should be top 7.
Right. Hey, Jet, we could debate that for a long time, but we're glad to have you here on H2G Radio, man. How does it feel to be out there in Boston now, man?
Oh, it's a wonderful feeling. I just left the gym right now, getting a little work in late night. Paul Pierce was there, so, I mean, we're fired up, man. We're ready to go, and we believe that, we're the team to beat. I mean, if we look out there, we know the champs are Miami right now, reigning champions. Obviously, the moves that the Lakers have made make them viable. But if we talk about Eastern Conference alone, you're looking at us, you're looking at Miami, you're looking at Brooklyn with the moves they've made, you're looking at New York. So, I don't know. I like us. I like the way we're built. A solid veteran group. The best point guard in my eyes in the NBA, Rajon Rondo. Why? Because he plays both ends of the floor, and he can also rebound for his height. So that puts him up there in my book. And Jason Kidd vouched for him. When Jason Kidd tells me after a game in Boston that Rajon Rondo is the best point guard in the league, I gotta listen. So it's a joy to play with a guard like that. And then Kevin Garnett obviously is going to go down in history as one of the best. I'm saying power forward.
Yeah, he's a power forward.
One of them. Yeah, to ever play the game.
Yes, indeed, man. And I actually like the cast that you guys have there in Boston. I think it's definitely a winning formula. If you had to look at that formula, that mix of what you have there now, and you look at that in your championship run there in Dallas, how do you compare that? I know you're in Boston, so you're going to be a little biased, but realistically, how do you compare that?
Well, it's very similar in a way that we're long, we're athletic, and we're deep at every position. I mean, in Dallas, when we won it in 2011, we prided ourselves on our depth. Our depth and our ability to, play multiple lineups. You look at this Boston team, and we're very similar in that right. I mean, our second five coming off that bench could easily be starting for a lot of teams in this league. So, again, I like our depth. I like our veteran leadership. Our core group of guys are veterans, as were we in Dallas in 2011. And then you have youth. A good mix of veterans and a good with youth, and that gives you a formula for success, not to mention a Hall of Fame coach in Doc Rivers. I mean, that gives you an edge up on a lot of teams.
Hey, Jason, this is E-Complete, man. Let me ask you, as you're talking about that team and that roster, I really like, as you're talking about the veterans, how do you feel people like Jeff Green coming back and the addition of yourself and Courtney Love blended with, bringing in a Sullinger, a Chris Joseph, Deontay Christmas, and Fab Melo, how they can help, just giving you guys a little bit of rest so you're fresh for the playoffs?
Well, as you know, the last couple of years, the only thing holding Boston back is their health and being healthy. I think if they were healthy last year and the year before, I think they beat Miami. So those young guys, they're going to be counted on to provide crucial minutes for us throughout a long season, which 82 games. I mean, you got to stay healthy, and you can't predict, who's going to get hurt and who's not. So young guys are going to be counted on, and again, I've been up here for 3 weeks now in Boston training, and the young guys have been here every day. I mean, I haven't seen a group of young guys come in and put the work in like these guys have. They're very committed, and they're very receptive to learning, and that goes a long way when you're talking about trying to implement them into a championship mix.
Yeah, I know you said you just worked out with Paul Pierce, and I don't know if Kevin Garnett is up there, but how much talking have you guys done about this season? And, I know you know Kevin for a long time. How much does, obviously his intensity, how much do those guys really want to win? And obviously we know you want to win, but when you talk to them, like, what type of energy do you get?
Well, it's amazing because to a man, the day I signed with Boston, not only the guys on the team, but from ownership to the coaching staff to the fans around the city, that's all they talk about is number 18. Our quest to win the 18th championship right here in Boston for the Celtics, what that would mean to their franchise. And it's amazing. I mean, and that's what it takes. It takes for everybody to buy in and to believe that we can win. And I think to a man, again, that everybody that's associated with the Boston Celtics honestly believe that this is the team that can get it done if we stay healthy.
Jason, do you think there's any difference, obviously, between the East and the Western Conference? We know you spent, some years in Atlanta, and then you've been in the Western Conference with Dallas for years. How do you think just your game and attacking, opponents in your division, Atlantic Division, what adjustments you might make or any differences you being back in the Eastern Conference?
Well, for me, it doesn't matter. East, West, North, South, China, overseas. It don't matter where I play at. I'm going to play my same game. Look to be a playmaker, provide energy and a spark in leadership, not only spiritually but on and off the floor for my team. And that's just been my role. Whether I'm starting or whether I'm coming off the bench, I'm going to do what I have to do and leave it all out there on the floor for my team. And I will do whatever it takes to win, as you know. So it doesn't change for me. And I think right now, as far as competition and competitiveness, the East has definitely caught up with the West, and the balance of power is pretty much even keel right now. I mean, the top 4 teams in the West can easily match up with the top 4 teams in the East, and it's amazing. But it's a great time to be in the NBA and to be a part of basketball because the talent has definitely been spread out evenly.
No doubt. Hey, Jed, the one thing I follow you, and I had some fun with the whole tattoo thing. You put the Larry O'Brien trophy on. You got a championship. So I was all excited when they were saying, okay, I'm going to reveal what the next tattoo is going to be. Then I see the lucky leprechaun on there, man. What made you go with the leprechaun?
Yeah, I went and got lucky on my arm, and he's hoisting up. He usually spins a basketball, but now I got them spinning the Larry O'Brien Trophy, which, again, it just goes to a testament that I honestly believe that we are going to win the championship this year. So, hey, it just goes to show you that what the power of belief can do. And when I did it in 2011, it was well before the season. And lo and behold, we ended up winning the championship. So hopefully it'll happen again for us.
Yes, indeed, man. And I know right now you're fourth on that list for most three-pointers. You got your boy Jason Kidd you're trailing behind.
Yeah.
Look like it's in jeopardy, baby. So I know you're gonna be firing that thing up from behind the arc.
So you already know my sights are set on my good friend Jay Kidd, and I hate to have to do it to him, but it'll be amazing if I pass him up in the Garden. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be a dream come true. But I know he's gonna have a good year this year. He's been training pretty hard, and he's still gonna be shooting threes at a high rate. But I know what my team needs me to do here, and I'm gonna be gunning for him.
Hey Jay, let me go back to that finals when you guys beat the Heat. When you came out and sort of called them out and made your statement, did you sense or did you feel that Miami just couldn't handle all your scores and your passing and your versatility? Did you guys in your locker room, did you guys feel like we got them? Like, did you sense that they just didn't have the eye of the tiger the way you guys did?
Yeah, after we came back in game 2, you could just see a look in their eyes that when you're a competitor and when you're facing somebody man to man and you look them right in their eyes, and you can kind of tell, you can sense it. And I'm that type of player that I'm going to look you dead in your face and really see what you're about. And we just knew to a man that those guys didn't have it in them, for whatever reason. But we like to say it was because of our defense, because of Tyson Chandler, because of Sean Marion, because of Deshaun Stevenson, because we weren't going to back down. And I just honestly believe that it was our time. And they're a different ball club than they were then. And we're going to see. It's going to be a test early. We open up with them. They're going to drop the banner down on us, which we're not going to like. We're going to get after it. So, again, my eyes are set on that prize. And if we got to go through them to get it, then so be it.
Hey,
Ed. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know you're a Seattle guy and you're a Seahawks fan. I just definitely wanted to ask you, what you think about that, that game? I know you was watching it going like, what the hell?
On one hand, I'm a Seahawks fan and I'm rooting wholeheartedly for the home team, but to see that play end the way it did and for that outcome to be what it was, I was a little disappointed. But again, we're all human. A tough spot to be in for a referee. That's the toughest job in the business. I don't care if you're in the NFL, Major League Baseball, or NBA, but a professional referee, there is no home. There's no advantage for you. You're always on the road, and you're always going to be looked at and scrutinized. Whether they made that call for an interception or whether they made that call for a touchdown, we were going to have something to say about it. So, again, happy for my Hawks to get the win, but that's a tough one to swallow if you're on the other side.
And then I know in college you used to sleep with your uniform on before the night's game. Are you going to do the same thing with the Celtics?
Hey, no question, baby. We got the Heat the first night, so I got 30 days before we match up with them. I'll be sleeping in the Heat short until we see them.
Hey, Jeff, before we let you get out of there, because I know you're standing in one spot, I'm pretty big out here in New York with this youth basketball stuff. I know that in the off season, I believe you coached the Lady Jets and y'all won the national championship. But do I follow that right?
Yes, sir. We won West Coast Nationals. The last 2 years, we've taken second and fourth. We lost in the championship game. My first year was a heartbreaking loss at the buzzer. The next year we took fourth. So we're very competitive. I coach sixth grade girls, and this year I'll be coaching high school girls and the eighth grade elite boys team. So I'm getting my feet wet. After I'm done and retire, I definitely want to be a coach at the Division I level, head coach. And so I'm getting my feet wet now and learning the ins and outs of recruiting and things of that nature. I believe X's and O's, I got it. Game management, I got it. And, just get my feet wet and learning about recruiting and, helping these kids get better. That's what it's all about, giving each kid an opportunity, whether it's boy or girl, to further their education and better themselves not only as a basketball player but as a human being. That's what it's all about for me.
Right. And that lady Jets team, that lady Jets team, it has your daughter on it. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm looking at her right now. She was in the gym with me also a couple hours ago.
She got some game. What's her strength? She got some game?
Shooting, baby, shooting. I joke all the time. I tell her I wish it was ball handling, but they all want to shoot it like their daddy, so I give them a break on that one.
So I got one last question, then we're going to let you go about this season. So, do you guarantee that you guys are going to beat the Knicks in the Atlantic Division?
Oh, wow. Nah. Now, see, I got to learn this. See, I'm in a new division, so the Knicks are in our division.
Yeah, and the Brooklyn
Nets. I do believe we're going to win the division, but I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I do believe we're going to win the division. So if that means the Knicks will be second, third, or fourth, I don't know. But I know that Boston Celtics will be number one.
All right.
Hey,
we appreciate
Jay, let me ask you real quick. When you talk about coaching, have you ever thought about, either coming back to your alma mater or coaching out here at AU or ASU?
Oh, no doubt. I want to go back to the University of Arizona and be the head coach. Sean Miller's doing an outstanding job, but my sights are set on Arizona when I'm done. I love the desert, and that's where it all started for me, so I love to go back. But Mari Stoudemire, is he a power forward? Is he a center?
Yep. You put him as a power forward. I would consider him a power forward.
See, because right now you got a lot of hybrids. So these guys are playing 4, but they actually are 5 in the lineup, so it's tough. So if we're going by natural power forward, I'm looking at, Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Love. If I forget anybody.
How you like LaMarcus? LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge is solid, but Zach Randolph, I may edge him above LaMarcus Aldridge, but both very solid players. Definitely in the top 10, both of those guys.
What about Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin is in the top 10, yes.
Yeah, see, we were having this debate because the NBA.com ranked Kevin Love as the
best power forward. I mean, where are we at here? I mean, is Kevin Garnett considered power forward or is he a center right now?
Well, right now he's a center.
Okay, so Dirk Nowitzki, then who are we talking about?
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love.
No, you shouldn't have said anything. You guys gave him a cheat sheet.
Right.
Well, LaMarcus Aldridge.
We're talking about Dirk Nowitzki. Then we're talking about.
It gets kind of sloppy. It gets a little sloppy in some ways. So they're talking that top 10 about. So we're looking at the top power forwards in the league, and without looking at the list, just your quick, but who would you say, based on you play against these guys every night, you look at the scouting reports, you see the numbers, who would you say is the best power forward in the league? Hey, Jeff, we was talking, and maybe we get you involved in this, and I'm sure the NBA players watch this as well. The NBA.com, they come out with these rankings for the players before the season. I think it's kind of to get you guys excited, to get you guys ready for the season, because we in strong disagreement with the top 10 and what goes past that. Have you had an opportunity to just glance at this?
No, I hadn't seen it.